I'm going to start this video with something honest. Most men don't actually fear intimacy. They fear rejection. They fear that moment when they make a move and the woman suddenly pulls back. Her energy changes. She turns cold. Or worse, she says something that instantly kills the vibe. And in that moment, a lot of men feel embarrassed, awkward, even stupid for trying. But what if I told you something? There's a way to ask a woman for intimacy without sounding desperate, without putting pressure on her, and without facing that painful rejection most men are afraid of. A way that uses psychology, not manipulation, not force, but understanding how women emotionally decide when they're ready and who they want to be ready with. And that's exactly what you're about to learn. Now, before we go deeper into this, let me hook you with something almost no one talks about. Women rarely reject a man because of the question he asks. They reject the energy behind it. Think about it. Two different men can say almost the exact same thing, yet one gets rejected instantly while the other creates attraction and curiosity. Why? Because women don't respond only to words. They respond to emotional context. And once you understand that, everything changes. Let's start with the first psychological shift most men need to make. Stop asking questions that feel like requests for permission. When a man asks something like, "Can I kiss you? Do you want to go somewhere private? Is it okay if we, it often creates pressure. Not because the intention is bad, but because it suddenly forces her to make a decision in a very direct way. And direct pressure is where rejection lives. But here's the psychological trick. Instead of asking for intimacy directly, you ask questions that let her imagine it first, because imagination creates emotion. For example, instead of saying something obvious, you could ask something playful like, "Be honest, are you the type who gets shy when someone looks at you like that? Or the type who secretly likes it?" Notice what just happened. You didn't ask for anything. You didn't push. But now she's thinking about attraction, about tension, about the dynamic between the two of you. That's psychology. Another powerful question works through curiosity. You might say something like, "Random question. What's the most attractive thing a man has ever done without even trying?" This question does two things. First, it gets her talking about attraction. Second, it subtly positions you inside that conversation. Now she's thinking about what attracts her. And once someone starts thinking about attraction, their brain naturally looks for it in the person they're talking to. That's how emotional momentum builds. But here's something even more important. Confidence in delivery matters more than the question itself. Because women are incredibly good at reading emotional signals. If you sound nervous, hesitant, or unsure, your words lose power. But if you say the same thing calmly, with relaxed confidence, it creates a completely different feeling. And feelings are what drive attraction. Now, here's another psychological question that works because it creates mystery and tension. You could say, "Let me guess something about you. You look innocent at first, but I feel like you're actually the one who breaks the rules sometimes." This does something interesting. It challenges her identity in a playful way. And when someone feels slightly misunderstood in an intriguing way, They often lean in to explain themselves. Now the conversation becomes deeper, more personal, more emotionally charged. An emotional charge is what makes intimacy possible. But here's the key thing most men miss. These questions only work if the connection already has comfort and respect. Psychology isn't about forcing attraction. It's about creating an environment where attraction can naturally grow. When a woman feels safe, relaxed, and emotionally engaged, intimacy stops feeling like a request. It becomes something that both people move toward naturally. And that's the real secret. The men who rarely face rejection aren't the ones who push harder. They're the ones who understand timing, emotion, and curiosity. They don't rush the moment. They build it. They don't ask in a way that creates pressure. They ask in a way that creates connection. So the next time you're talking to a woman, don't focus on asking for intimacy. Focus on building the emotional atmosphere where intimacy feels natural. Because when attraction is real, you won't need to convince her. She'll already be leaning closer. And if you understand the psychology behind that moment, you'll realize something powerful. Sometimes, the most attractive move a man can make is not asking directly. It's asking the right question at the right time. And don't forget to subscribe Psychology Daily.